either murdered or human trafficked in our city of Parkersburg, West Virginia on December 4th. We had the 1 year anniversary of Taylor Tibbs from last year on December 4th, 2023, and we had the 2 year anniversary of Gretchen Fleming on December 4th of 2022. Now, what I want to analyze right now, before anything else on the big show regarding that, is Preston Pierce, his digital media or his social profiles. So he has deleted long ago his main Facebook profiles with his name on it. It used to be Daryl Lott, and those accounts were hanging out there from before he changed his name legally to Preston Pierce. He's even deleted the Preston Pierce profiles. That's been probably since, well, last year sometime. I can't remember the month, but we've had all these other new accounts spring up that we have identified with the West Virginia cold case team and the women who are working behind the scenes on this whole case. And we found a lot of profiles hanging out there. Some of them are of one of them, or several profiles are of one woman on our team who has claimed that Preston Pierce has allegedly raped her. And she made that claim in a public group chat. And 3 days later, Preston came out with an account made in her name with a Latin phrase on it that was very chilling. And not only that, we have found out the old Thomas Bowers accounts. I mean, there have been several accounts that have impersonated different people that have had nothing to do with this case, and we've always been asking the question, why are these people being picked for fake profiles to be made in their name? Well, that's, to me, it's an old Freemason tactic. Now, I don't know if Preston Pierce is a Freemason or not. I do know that he is a former policeman from, I think, roughly 5 different police agencies. And I think maybe he was a police chief at one of them. I'm not for sure on that. But, there is the Fraternal Order of Police. So I don't know if there is any connection on that or not. But we do have a picture of our police chief in our city where we believe he is using a Freemasonic hand sign as he's being photographed during his swearing in on his oath of office, oath of enlistment. So it runs deep here in this city of Parkersburg. I will say that for sure. Now, are the police really protecting him? I've said all along they pretty much were. Even though they've made it look like they were framing him, he's not been charged. And they're not looking for a body. So how do you charge somebody if you're not looking for a body? Doesn't make a lot of sense. We're hearing rumblings and grumblings about human trafficking going on Route 2. And we've kind of whittled that down. We kind of think that if that is true, which there are a couple women that swear up and down that there are reports of actual human trafficking being done with women who are on drugs. And that's where a lot of these attacks have been happening. I do have some news for you guys. First, I will say that we think that the human trafficking could be going on the intersection by the airport here in North Parkersburg. The Route 2 and Route 31. Route 31 is Deer Walk Highway. Route 2 is Emerson Avenue leading out to Route 2, going out to roughly St. Mary's and all that, those towns out there along the Ohio River. Now, we don't know. Our source, Cole Clicks, who has passed away on May 8th, has always said time and again that if Gretchen Fleming was to be found, she would be found in a metal container on Route 2. But she didn't know if that was a sewer grate, a metal box, a storage locker, just some kind of a metal container. Well, the airport would have airplanes. You could look at that as a metal container. We had old Indian profiles of, like, the country of India being created by presumably Preston Pierce, and that was bone-chilling because we found that the Varghese Kings were being impersonated on these profiles. Now, do they have a connection? I don't know. Varghese King Sr. and Jr. out of Marietta, Ohio. The elder is a college professor, I believe, of math out there, and the younger is his son. So I don't know. There's a lot going on, but we do have more news of more women who have been disappeared, and we've got a woman that has been found in Elkview, and you guys have probably seen this locally in West Virginia on your news. Our source, the one who alleges that Preston Pierce has raped her, she lives out in this area somewhere. I'm not going to say exactly where, but she's down around those parts, and she notified us about the woman that was found So the story is a man went walking along it's pretty close to Interstate 79 down there and the Elk River. And I don't know if the body was just off the river, but it was found over a hillside. And it appears the police were coming out with a statement saying that she was possibly dumped out there by September 8th. But now it's becoming a little bit more clear that it might be a little more recent than that, but this woman's body was just dumped. And it's sickening because we had the other woman who is now positively identified as Kimberly Osborne. She was found south of Morgantown. Now, we don't think Preston Pierce had anything to do with that. That seems like that was her boyfriend, who I'm not sure if he's in jail or not, but he's had a history of possibly even abusing her. So that woman, Kimberly Osborne, was found 1 mile outside of her house in South Morgantown. But this new body that's been found in Elkview along the Elk River was found on November 28th. But now our source, who has been telling us, the one who was raped by Preston Pierce allegedly, she says that there's another woman missing from that area and that she used to dance with her back in the day. Well, this new woman was living in Tent City, homeless, and she's not been contacting her mom or anything. So there's a third woman out there who's now missing, and nobody knows where she is. So everybody's kind of alarmed for this homeless woman. But like I told you guys, this is where it happens. It's with these women on drugs. Now, our source, she's made the venture off drugs, and she wants to help with drug recovery efforts down in her area, linking up with us. So as we get our drug recovery efforts off the ground, we want to help people make that venture off drugs. We've got a lot of people who are having good successes. If you are one who likes to pray for the people afflicted by drugs in our group right here, because there are a couple of people who have made it off just recently, and I'm talking like the past 2 weeks or so, or month maybe, one off meth and one off heroin. So that's great news. We praise Jesus for that, and we hope for continued improvement there and that they stay off, because the big scare is if you're coming off of heroin and you ever go back to it, it kills you because your brain is not used to that. And I've had it happen where I was working in Burger King here in 2016 in Vienna, I should say Vienna. We had a guy by the name of Chris Root. He died of a relapse there, and it's so sad and unfortunate. I mean, it just happens all the time, in this community. So we don't want to see it anymore. Pray for those afflicted by drugs and pray for us to try to help people. That's what we want to do. But more on Preston Pierce. So it is believed that I think he's living in the St. Albans area. Some people have questioned whether Belpre. Some people have questioned whether it's with his sister, Judy Bonnet, on Route 47 by WVUP, the college that's in Davisville, which is just south of Parkersburg, across the Little Kanawha River. So we drove by there one day. We've got a little video footage that we're going to share for you guys. And I don't believe he's there, but he could be. I think he's in St. Albans. And it's just bothersome because St. Albans is the city where that third woman is missing from, the homeless woman. So this is really scary stuff. If you're a woman here, and I said all along, I questioned whether December 4th was going to be another death of a 27-year-old woman, because it happened the last 2 years, and it's always happening with somebody on drugs. Was Gretchen Fleming on drugs? We believe she was. She was hanging out with a heroin junkie, presumably by the name of John Jason Pape, and nobody knew that, but yes, he was. He moved up to he moved up to, I can't think of the name of the town in Ohio. It's just a little bit to the north to get off of heroin. And I believe he was living in Huntington prior to that. His uncle had given him the job at Eramet, which is between Belpre and Marietta, Ohio, along Route 2, I do believe, or Route 7, and a house to get his life straightened out. But I don't think he ever got it off the drugs myself. So Gretchen was hanging out with him. That was right when this all happened. So is John Jason Pape involved in this? I personally think he is. So we're going to come out with a big show here. I don't want to take up any more of your time. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Thanks for all your support. If you haven't already, subscribe. It helps us out. And we're going to try to get this operation off the ground with the West Virginia Cold Case team. We've got a lot of women working behind the scenes right now, trying to figure out and crack this case, because we just don't expect our police to come up with any answers. So So until next time, guys, see you later. And as always, Godspeed.